Over in the pages of DC Comics, it's been absolutely thrilling to check out the publisher's new Golden Age initiative, which has really brought the Justice Society of America back into the limelight. Really getting the chance to see individuals like Wesley Dodds operate alongside individuals like Deadman over in DC Comics' Night Terror storyline was also a ton of fun. Now, DC Comics is looking to bring in some new Golden Age heroes for their own comic book titles. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and preview Wesley Dodds' The Sandman #1 to see if Wesley is a compelling leading man. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button over on this video. The Golden Age Sandman returns in a new noir mystery. No one escapes the Sandman's dark dreams, not even Wesley Dodds himself. After years of testing and experimentation, Wesley perfected his sleep gas as the optimal weapon to fight crime without causing undue harm. But when his journal detailing all his failed and far more deadly formulas is stolen, the Sandman must hunt down the thief and the people in the shadows pulling the strings before the contents of the journal are released. Wesley Dodds' The Sandman #1 is written over from Robert Venditti, featuring art from Riley Rossmo. We have colors from Ivan Plascencia, letters from Tom Napolitano, and we have a cover coming in directly over from Rossmo as well as Plascencia. Really appreciate this super dynamic pose that Wesley is striking over on this cover. Also love the fact that his sleep gas is shown off on the page too. This is a really important thematic element of the story that we'll explore in a bit more context in just a few moments here. I want to extend a big thank you over to Adventures in Poor Taste and take a look at some of the gorgeous artwork over from Riley Rossmo on Wesley Dodds' The Sandman #1. I was really thrilled to see that Rossmo's really complicated and fascinating line adjusted so well over to a period piece like Wesley Dodds' The Sandman. The way that Rossmo strikes all these unconventional page layouts with a kind of crooked angle is so interesting. I think it brings so much fascinating context over to this 1940s view of Manhattan as well over on the page here. I also thought that some of the colors from Plascencia did a great job matching up over with some of Rossmo's ambitions here. I want to go ahead and show you the second page where we can really see Wesley bursting into action over with some of his sleep gas on the comic book page. I think this is an absolutely wonderful sense of design that shows you the name of the comic book in a really visceral way here. The way that the credits are featured towards the bottom of the page is also really gorgeous over on the title here. It was really thrilling to start out Wesley Dodds' The Sandman by checking in on Wesley as a superhero. I really love this page that we have on the screen. I think it's one of the most ambitious pages that we've seen yet over from Rossmo in terms of this Wesley Dodds book. The way that he's sort of pulling on all of the ways that Wesley is fighting back against organized crime and depicting all these sort of haunting sequences over with Wesley is just amazing. I love how Rossmo just frames all of these tiny panels across Wesley's really morose outfit over on the page here too. I really found this last panel over on the page where Wesley's head is just sort of poking out of the panel to be a really exceptional and engaging moment over in the comic book as well. Also, the new Golden Age is firmly entrenched within the DC universe, so really getting the chance to see some of the Justice Society of America characters featured so prominently over on the page was really endearing here. I love the way that Rossmo framed this page as well, with these really interesting bleeds coming out in and out of these panel borders. I also really like the irreverent way he captures some of the anatomy across these JSA heroes as well here. I think this exaggerated look over for the Spectre captures the dark and nuanced aspects of his personality just through some of the lines over from Rossmo as well. This next page I really found to be one of the most cerebral across the comic book as a whole here, as Wesley is sort of reminiscing over with his father. These uses of really interesting panel borders are featured again and again in the issue, but what really makes this particular page special for me is the fact that we not only have this really insane panel border over from Rossmo, but we also have this bleed over from the soldier in the background with his gun sort of poking out of the panel that I think captures just such an interesting aspect of the narrative and definitely imbues so much fascinating subtext into Robert Venditti's script. I was also happy that Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, issue 1, really portrayed Wesley as an individual who's really multi layered and has so many different elements over to his life. Wesley has been working over on this sleep gas for an incredibly long time here. And on this page, we really get introduced to some of his surroundings, his home environment, and we also get to know some aspects over in his love life as well with the character of Dani. I thought the way that Venditti and Rossmo depicted their relationship throughout this particular issue was really, really thrilling here, and also really shows yet another layer to the complex characterization over from Wesley Dodds as a hero in the comic book as well. The panel where Wesley and Dian kiss is just so beautiful and captured at just the right moment over from Rossmo as an artist here. I think Rossmo is so exceptional at capturing really interesting page layouts and sequences, and the fact that DC decided to really use some of his art over on this series, kicking off some of these ancillary new Golden Age comics, is a really good sign for me that DC is definitely in the right direction here. A little bit later over on the comic book issue, we get to see Wesley pitch his sleep gas over to some of the individuals at Fort Hamilton. Watching these characters really discount how smart and powerful Wesley is as a character is really, really fascinating here. I also found it really sad and endearing for Wesley as a character that people just seem to misunderstand so much of what he's saying here, as these individuals really want a powerful weapon, and Wesley is offering them one that really seems to utilize what they're looking for. In fact, in my own personal life, I've definitely found myself in a situation where I have a great resolution to something that's just discarded by the management at play. I really found the characterization for Wesley to be absolutely thrilling across this issue. I really love some of Robert Venditti and Brian Hitch's work over on the Hawkman character, and when I was reading this Sandman story, I almost found that Wesley is an even more well-characterized and dimensional individual than what Venditti was able to accomplish over with this Hawkman title. Another aspect over in Wesley Dodds' The Sandman that I found to be incredibly intriguing was just how much of a double life that Wesley seems to have. While he does tenuously accept this invitation over to a party, it looks like Wesley is really not looking to engage with some of the party guests, but instead slip into some of his Sandman guys and really take crime fighting and vigilante activities over into his own hands here. Getting to see Wesley change out of his civilian clothes into his Sandman costume a little bit later in the sequence was really, really thrilling and captured incredibly well over from Rossmo. I really appreciated how Wesley Dodds really kind of conspicuously fishes his suit out of the back of a car and kind of sneaks into an alleyway to turn it on over in the comic book sequence as well. I just thought there were so many fun and engaging aspects of this issue. I think Robert Venditti, as well as Riley Rossmo, really went deep into the character of Wesley, and this issue is a direct result of all of the intensive research here. So at the end of the day, I think this Wesley Dodds, The Sandman comic book was a great debut for some of the ancillary legacy heroes of the new Golden Age to get some of their own comic book titles. As mentioned earlier, I really think that Venditti and Rossmo dug deep into the character of Wesley Dodds. I'm so happy that as one of the breakout stars over in Night Terrors, we have yet another destination over for Wesley as well. I want to know from you, what are some of your thoughts over on Wesley Dodds' The Sandman issue 1? Did you like this comic book as much as I did? What did you think about the utilization of the time period as well as some of Rossmo's unconventional art? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming to check out our review of Wesley Dodds' The Sandman, and we'll continue to review these new DC Legacy titles and to see what the publisher has next over for the new Golden Age. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.